Okay, so welcome class. Today we'll be talking about product differentiation and the 4 Ps of marketing. And let's just jump right into it. So the opening, well, this is supposed to be a prompt, but these are actually what we're going to be going over. We're going to be going over product differentiation, 4 Ps, and I'll at least introduce what we'll be doing in class as far as market research goes. So what is product differentiation? This is a thing you might hear about in business circles about what do you do to differentiate yourself, what do you do to be different, what do you do to attract customers. It is what a company does to make sure its product or service are the best available to their customers. Companies must provide a clear benefit to their customers that they can't get anywhere else. And let's just move on. So a little bit of a continuation about this. So what you need to do is have a target market, which usually you figure out through your value proposition or market research. You need to be attuned to the wants and needs of this market segment, which means you really got to get in their heads to know what they want, what they like, what they're going to buy, and what they're going to pay for it. And you need to know a little bit about what your competition is doing, so you can either be more different from them, more like them, make sure they're not getting too far ahead of you, that sort of thing. So this also leads to the question of what is a market segment, since this might be the first time you've ever heard about it. A market segment is a part of the market that you want to appeal to. This is generally done geographically, and then you figure out which demographics within that area you would like to serve, at least if you're a small to medium-sized business. And demographics are generally going to be in a combination of age, income, personal interest, or potentially ethnic or cultural needs, and many more things. This isn't just going to be serving, let's say, one level of income, one level of one economic or ethnic group. You're generally going to have some checkerboard mix of these, because you may have one primary market, but you also could end up having secondary or a few that kind of overlap. So this is one of those things where it's not really cut and dry. It's going to be kind of how you define it, and what the profile of your prime customer is like. And there's different types of differentiation. So there's cost leadership, where you focus on efficiency and being the cheapest alternative. This is kind of the Walmart method of things. They really focus on being incredibly efficient and the cheapest alternative to shop at. That is their entire reason for being. Then you have product differentiation, which is focusing on providing a set experience. So this is like Apple versus Samsung. Functionally, cell phones are the same, but Apple has its ecosystem and Samsung is trying to build that too. And then there's the Chinese phone brands, which tend to compete more on being not very differentiated, kind of go more for the cost leadership route. But the Apple versus Samsung is very much a product differentiation. They're being different, even though they are more, functionally they're the same product. And then there's really focusing on a target market, which is finding a target market and then focusing everything you can onto that market. And this is what most boutique businesses do, which is kind of what a lot of small businesses are going to be more focusing on, is finding their niche and heavily catering to it. Which also rolls us into the 4 Ps of marketing, which is product, which is what your thing does, its quality, its guarantees, whatever it is you've promised and developed. Price, which also has to go into its cost to produce, how much you can sell it for, if you offer any discounts on it when your stores buy it, if you're selling to a retail store. This is more if you're manufacturing, or if you're possibly a gym, you might have different discounts for different things. Will you accept payment arrangements, or is it just you pay on the 1st, you pay on the 30th, and that's just the end of story? And then promotion, which is what you do to advertise, message, what media you use, just how you get the message about yourself out, how you contact your target market, and how you bring them in the door, or web marketplace, depending on your business model. And then place, this is where you sell your product and how you get it to there. Now, this is more written if you're a manufacturer. So if you're manufacturing, let's say, cookies or something, how you get them to the store, and what stores you put them at, where in the store are they, how is the display set up, which a little bit of this can also blend into media literacy a little bit, because these all kind of feed into not just media, but how a store is set up and how a grocery store is going to get you to buy something. And we'll be moving into an example of that, which is we're going to be talking about in class, which is where we're going to be having you think about a branded product in the grocery store, such as Cheez-Its, Chips, Ahoy, or any other kind of similar snack food product that you will have seen in the store. And you need to think about these following things, and we're going to have a follow-up discussion before we go into market research on this, which is thinking about where are they placed in the store, what product would you buy instead of this product, what is the price difference between, say, Chips Ahoy and this store brand or not, as prestigious brands, or whatever brand you think is the one that you are most likely to buy. And are there any sales for either of these items or any of the competing or substitute items? And if so, do you perceive or notice a quality difference between them? And this is going to be a thing that's going to lead us into our discussion on market research, like finding that market and how to eventually develop your product and tailor it to the people you want to serve. And that is going to be where this is going to end. And for further reading, there are these articles here if you would like to look at them, which is about marketing, your competitive advantage, the advantages of product differentiation strategy, and what it is in general if you would like to read and need supplemental material. And if you want to watch a video instead of reading, we have a for future viewing tab. This will be in the Google Classroom where you can just click on the hyperlinks here. These are not popping up as full-on links, but they're in your Google Classroom in the slide deck. And just thank you for here, and remember the in-class discussion for Monday or Tuesday, depending on the bell schedule when I will see you, and I will see you then.